I'll touch him enough times. I'll touch him enough times, and eventually he'll crumble like the Twin Towers.
What's up, guys? Today I wanted to talk about some of the rumored and also announced fights or reported fights. A lot of different kinds of things. Rumored, reported, announced, same bullshit. I wanted to talk about some of the big fights that we're apparently getting next year in the UFC. A lot of big fights, a lot of big names. Adesanya, Share Bullet. We're going to talk about it. Rafael Fiziev. We're going to talk about it. Let's get into it. Make sure you guys like and sub. Let's go. So this is what I saw about 2 hours ago, actually. Um, Actually, that sounded really gay. Holy shit. No Jones! No Jones! This was reported by Alex Behunin. Kevin Holland will take on Rainer the Ritter. What the fuck? Okay, so this is kind of wild. Rainer the Ritter, if you don't know, the goofiest fighter in the UFC. The goofiest fighter in the UFC, other than Drekus. He is a middleweight. He just beat GM3 in round 3. He looked terrible, but he also looked good because he submitted GM3, but also and dropped him. This guy's like, I'm telling you, the next Drickus, he's taking on Kevin Holland. Pretty big fight. This is at UFC 311, which is in January, so that will probably be on the main card of Makachev versus Arman. Yeah, that will probably be 311. So Makachev Arman, you'll probably get this. I guess we don't know what the co-main event is for the co-main event, excuse me, for that card is. So we're gonna have to see. But yeah, this is a pretty good fight to be honest. In terms of who I got, I'm not a fan of Kevin Holland. I think he's pretty shit. I could see Rainer the Ritter winning this. I could see Rainer the Ritter winning a really bullshit 29-28 decision. So, but this is a good, very, very good fight. Saeed Nurmagomedov, the ugliest man in the UFC, versus Vinicius Oliveira. Really good fight. Vinicius Oliveira coming off of that knockout against Sopaj. Something Sopaj. Yeah, really good fight. February 1st in Saudi Arabia. So these Saudi Arabia cards, like always, are fucking extremely stacked. Um Saeed was supposed to fight, I think he was supposed to fight on this year's Saudi Arabia card, right? But yeah, I think he was injured. So this is another really good fight. Kind of an interesting fight. I'll probably go with Saeed, I guess, especially if it's in Saudi Arabia, they'll give him a decision. But hey, man, if Vinicius can knock him out, really a really solid fight though. Abdul Karim Al Selwadi, crazy name, will take on Jordan the homosexual Levitt. Yeah, nice. This is another good fight, really solid fight. I don't got too much to say. Terrence McKinney, who they just signed to a 4-fight deal, by the way. Mind you, Terrence McKinney is like nobody cares about the guy. He's been knocked out in his last 4 fights. Look at his face, bro. I'm sorry, no offense to Terrence McKinney. He just has that really punchable face. Him and Shakur Stevenson got that same face with those they have that weird baby teeth. You know what I mean? If you look at their mouths and their teeth, they have weird baby teeth. I don't know how to explain it. They look like I don't know. I just want to punch them in the face, and I hope he loses to this guy. He probably, he probably will actually. Demir Hasdovich will probably knock this fucking bum out. I don't even know why I hate Terrence McKinney. I just don't like him. Muhammad Maina versus Kana Offley, another Saudi Arabia fight. It's all right. Wait, was McKinney fighting in Saudi? Yeah, he was in Saudi as well. So I think that's it. Okay, now we're gonna talk about this. So perfect. I didn't even know this was on the same page. Rafael Fiziev. Now we're talking. All right. Fuck Terrence McKinney. Fuck all that. Fuck Saeed Nurmagomedov. Who gives a fuck? Rafael Fiziev. His manager has told somebody that he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. Or he's at least accepted the fight that they've offered him. Um, Against who? I have no idea. If it's in Saudi, a fight night, then it can't be a big name. So I wouldn't. I don't think it could be anyone massive. Saudi Arabia. Who would they give him in Saudi Arabia? The rumor isn't the rumor that Izzy is going to headline this card against, and we'll get to that actually after this. That's the rumor. Shit, I don't know because I was gonna say maybe they do Fiziev Dan Hooker since maybe they would want to be on the same card. I don't know Fiziev Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker should get somebody like Oliveira really. Who could Fiziev fight? Shit, I don't know. Who could Rafael Fiziev fight? Let me know in the comments below. Benoit Saint Denis? Ooh. Wait, hold on. Has that fight happened? No, right? Oh, yes. 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 I like that. Benoit Saint Denis versus Rafael Fiziev. Let's make that happen. So I'm a big Rafael Fiziev fan, excuse me. I'm a big Benoit Saint Denis fan. I don't care. I'm probably the biggest Benoit Saint Denis fan on MMA YouTube. Don't get on me for that. I'd never jump off the bandwagon of the God of War. But Rafael Fiziev is back February. Very excited. He's coming off of an ACL tear. He's been out for a while. Um, right? He tore his ACL, right? Um, yes, yes. He's coming off because he fought. I believe it was Gamrot, and his leg just exploded. So he's probably. Why is Hasbulla trending? You guys see that? He's probably gonna. I'd love to see him against Benoit Saint Denis. That's what I want to see. Iwan Kutalaba as well. So he is going to take on Ibo Aslan. Oh, this is a crazy fight. It's Seattle, February 22nd. Oh, by Big Marcel, who's reported this. This is a crazy fight. This is actually, I'm an Iwan Kutalaba fan. The Hulk shit, the way he fights, I love Iwan Kutalaba. Does he beat Ibo Aslan? Is good, man. He's really good. He just knocked out his bro. He's a strong guy. I don't know. This is a really tough fight. This is a really tough fight to predict. This will be a banger, or this could just end in like 3 minutes. Like this could either be a back and forth war, or it's just gonna end in like a minute. I could see Kutalaba getting rocked really bad though, and then just getting like I don't know. But then I could see Kutalaba hitting Ebo with something bad. I might pick Kutalaba, man. I'm a Kutalaba enjoyer. I'm a base Kutalaba enjoyer. Again, here's Rafael Fiziev. He's accepted a fight 2 weeks ago. So it could be Benoit Saint Denis. That's my prediction. I believe, because I think, yeah, it's not going to be Moicano because he's going to fight Pimblett. And it's probably going to be in the UK. Benoit's really got nothing lined up. And I don't think he's healed, but like the injury probably wasn't so bad. The eye injury or whatever the fuck. It wasn't so bad, I don't think, or the cut, not the injury, excuse me. The cut wasn't so bad to where it's like he's gonna be out till like December. Like you know what I mean? It's like it's probably all right now, and I don't know who could the Otto man fight. So that's about it. Now we're going to. I don't care about John Jones. Now we're gonna talk about some bigger fights. So apparently, Sharp Bullet has reportedly agreed to fight MVP next year. Obviously in Saudi Arabia. I think his manager actually came out in an interview and said, yes, my guy Sharabulati fight MVP. This is a pretty crazy fight. MVP, I guess, would be moving up to middleweight. I don't know. This is a really tricky fight. It's a big fight, really exciting fight. You don't even need to have Adesanya. Is it a bad take in saying this could headline a fight night in Saudi Arabia, or does it need to be like Robert Whitaker and the biggest names in the sport? I think this is a sick fight. I don't know who I'm picking. I like both guys a lot. I've become a big Sheriff Bullet fan because he has kind of backed up, especially in his. I think his last knockout was very much needed because I was like, he should be running through the guys he's fighting, and he finally did that in his last fight. Even though it was a bit tough, it was a tough fight, but dude, that spinning back fist elbow is like an all-time UFC knockout. But Michael Venom Page, he's only had 2 fights in UFC, right? And he's not bad. The problem is his first fight. Kevin Holland sucks. Like he pretty much outclassed and schooled Kevin Holland for 3 rounds. Kevin Holland's dog shit. And then the second fight, I actually gave him that fight against Ian Gary because I thought he did more damage. He landed more on the feet, but they gave it to Ian Gary because of control time, which they don't even count anymore. But they only count for some fights. They only count it when it's a fighter they like, guys. Um, Corrupt. Not definitely not a corrupt. Oh, boxing is more corrupt than UFC. My ass. I always hate when MMA fans try to do this bullshit of like, well, at least we're not boxing. At least we're not those guys. You guys have just as many bad robberies at this point as boxing, if not more. Like, what are we doing here? Are you kidding me? John Jones versus Dominic Reyes. Cheeto Sanhagen, where they almost gave it to Cheeto. Like, get out of here, man. Anyways, that's a whole nother thing. In terms of this fight, really sick fight. I might go MVP, you know. Everyone's saying share a bullet, but like MVP's a good striker, man. His leg kicks are going to be a really big problem for Magomedov. It's a sick fight. I wouldn't even know who to pick. I want it to be 5 rounds. I don't know. I want to see what because I feel like in a 3 rounder, I want a better idea of what this fight will look like over 5 rounds, but it's going to be a 3 rounder. So yes, another sick fight for the Saudi Arabia card. Again, those Saudis, they get all the good fights, and then us in America, we get Thug Rose fights. It is what it is. We're gonna get on to Adesanya, and that'll be the last big fight to talk about. So it is rumored that Israel Adesanya will take on Nasruddin Imavov. I mean, as you can see here, this Homo Adesanya, he's watching Imavov's older fights. It is rumored that it is in the works to headline UFC's event in Riyadh, February 1st, which is the same card as Bullet MVP and Fiziev and some of those other guys. They're stacking the shit out of that card as if it's a pay-per-view. Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov, with probably, I guess, the co-main event would be MVP Bullet, or unless Fiziev has a massive opponent, you could do Fiziev Benoit as the co-main. So that Fiziev Benoit or Fiziev versus whoever, Adesanya versus Imavov, MVP versus Bullet. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? They are stacking these and no women's fights. Yes, no women's fights. Thank God. Unless it's Mackenzie Dern or I mean, well, let's see. You got Mackenzie Dern's ass. You got Grassel's feet. Who else? Bruno Brazil. I'm a big Bruno Brazil guy. Don't talk about my queen like that. And then you got her. You got Bruno Brazil. I know Tatiana Suarez is married, but she's an underrated one. Anyways, what am I talking about here? This is not Gooner MMA. This is BXG MMA. Big fight. Adesanya Imavov. Crazy fight. It's a tricky fight in terms of what is Adesanya? Where is he at right now? Is he washed? Like he lost to Pereira, knockout. He lost to Strickland, 50-45, or if not 49-48. So he lost to Pereira, Strickland, and Drekis. Knockout, decision, submission, which is kind of crazy. His last three losses have all been in different ways, which is kind of hilarious. As an Adesanya hater, I'm happy, right? But I'm also not an Imavov fan. I just think he's kind of boring, really. I don't really have anything against him as a personality or anything. I just think he's a little bit boring. In terms of who wins or loses this fight, your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea. Um, it's tricky because it's like, what level is Adesanya at right now? If he's shit, like if he's washed, maybe Imavov just outpoints him to a 50-45 or 49-48. But at the same time, if Izzy is any level of, if he still has it, but I don't want him to win this and then get. He's not gonna get a title shot, but like, I don't want him in title contention at all. But if he wins this, that would put him right back there, man. Which is not fit. This is the problem with it. It's like if he wins this, then it's like, well, he beat Imavov coming off of a 4 or 5 fight winning streak. It's like it's not fair though, because now it's like you kind of have to give him like another top contender after this, and then you could give him a title shot, and it's just like we'll see. I'd imagine, to be honest, there is an argument for the Strickland rematch, and he's never faced Hamzat, and then obviously he probably wants to drink his fight back, and there's things, but I don't know. This fight's good. I think I'm picking Adesanya, but I'm gonna do a little more research on Imavov. I'm gonna see what he does right. Maybe he can mix in the grappling, and maybe he can make it tricky for Izzy, but it's tricky. I think I got Adesanya. I mean, if this was 2020, I'd be like, yeah, Adesanya, 100%. But it's just like he's lost so many times since then that it's just hard for me to definitively say Adesanya because who knows? He could lose a decision. I don't think Imavov knocks him out. It's just whether or not like is Imavov at this point just the quicker guy, the faster guy, the smarter guy. He has more reaction time. He's gonna mix in the grappling, shit like that. So overall, UFC in 2024, 24. I'm retarded. 25 is looking fucking sweet so far. Imavov, Izzy, Fiziv's big return. Hopefully against Benoit Saint Denis. Um, what else we got? We got some big stuff, man. Iwan Kutalaba, base Iwan, Rainer the Ritter versus Kevin Holland. Share Bullet MVP. Some big fights, and these are not even in terms of like these aren't like massive fights, but like for the hardcores, hey man, we're all gonna be seated for Rainer the Ritter title run and all that shit. Iwan Kutalaba, yo, low key, if Iwan Kutalaba puts together a streak. Hey man, Iwan Kutalaba versus Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira, and that's a real thing. Make sure you guys like and sub. Um, I'll be a bit busy this week because it's Thanksgiving week, but I'll drop this as soon as I can. So enjoy your guys' Thanksgiving whenever you guys are watching this. I don't care. You guys could be watching this in 2028. Anyways, I'm yapping. Bye.